Hello, John.
Hello, Oliver.
And today I think we're going to do a poem, and you're going to talk about abortion, I think it is.
I am. I'm going to just mention abortion and that has the people voted for abortion in this country in a referendum. Now, it wasn't portrayed as abortion, it was portrayed as something about Amendment 8. But the agenda was abortion, and obviously Catholics, the majority of people in the country, perhaps lukewarm Catholics or non-practicing Catholics, voted for this because it was portrayed as being compassion and this, that and the other, a whole heap of lies told by this secular government that we're saddled with, particularly the Minister for Children, particularly the Prime Minister, Barricker, and the Minister for Children, Zapone. Zapone has unleashed in Africa at a recent visit that made to that continent. I think there was a meeting of people there of like ourselves, and she has committed 350 million of Irish taxpayers' money for to support abortion in that region. Now, bad enough that it was done here, but this is what the people voted for, and to their eternal shame, they'd want to sort of repent and publicly repent. But aside from that, this government that has inflicted these divisive laws on the country, and also then come about to try and change the education of children so as they'll be corrupted with this agenda of this LBGT agenda, which is small in number but very influential with regard to the sort of leaders that we're saddled with in this country at the present time, and of course the opposition in Dáil Éireann. One hopes that somebody will come forward that will stand for the sort of values we're talking about. Let's not be behind the door in sort of saying tolerance for all these. No tolerance for people that inflict such evil on the country. Now, so I've mentioned about abortion, but I've come across a poem there in a magazine there dated the 11th of October, and it's a poem written by a chap from Cork, Bill Curtin.
Can you just show us, there's a nice picture attached to that?
There is, there it is, the Ballad of Our Lady of Tears, and it's a very sober picture, and God help her, she's got tears in her eyes. It is a very evocative picture, and it caught my attention there, and I was reading it there the other day, and I certainly intended to give it a bit more publicity and support and read it, because what I've just said there, I think this would put it in a different context and prick the conscience of these people responsible for this. Prick the consciences of women that's contemplating such an evil, and the medical people carrying it out. They would all want to repent from such evil. But I'm going to read this, and it's thought-provoking. It's called the Ballad of Our Lady of Tears. O Mary, Mother of all men, remember how one day you rocked a little boy to sleep in a cradle filled with hay. Remember how you held him the long and weary night. You fled from Herod's soldiers in Egypt's dismal flight. How the lonely stars looked down, how the night was long, with hoofbeats in the distance, but in your heart a song. You trod the darkness round you, you warmed the sands so cold, you lulled the winds to whispers and turned the tears to gold. When God was very little and life was very new, with death a lurking shadow, he chose to cling to you. He chose not heaven's legions, nor Michael's sword of flame. He chose not to shield him in the darkness, he chose your tender name. Your tender arms to hold him, your tender eyes so deep. tender voice to comfort and sing his soul to sleep. Look down again in pity, O Mother of our Lord, upon a world where children still must flee from Herod's sword, where Moloch claims his victims still, and still the price is paid, where lust is crowned and love is drowned, and death a grim charade, where little ones are torn apart or burned with hateful brine, where murder in a velvet coat is a social valentine. These little hands, these little feet, these little eyes and ears, O Mother, see their miseries, baptize them in your tears. They have never known the sunshine, nor felt the cool of rain. Their heritage is horror, their first cares is pain, their first caress is pain. They were the breath of springtime, the promise of April gave, till winter's vultures ravished their cradle in their grave. And now before the Father, some ask, whose can these be? Please wrap your arms around them, say these belong to me. For love of him who was little too, you traded heaven to be with you, who traded heaven to be with you. Take these little children torn apart in the playground of your heart, bruised and swollen, crucified on the cross of human pride, like your divine Son when he was crucified in Calvary. May their bodies perfect rise, take their souls to paradise. Let them not for want of grace linger in a darkened place. Ask your Son to give them joy. He was once a little boy. Now and at the hour of death, may they feel your gentle breath. Tuck them in a bed of white, O Mother, sing to them tonight.
Well, very nice.
It certainly is, and I think it's very apt to sort of, and it's written by a fellow called Bill Curtin in County Cork, and he certainly touched he described what the reality is of these poor little children, aborted, murdered before they had a chance of being born. They feel the pain. They feel the pain. It has been evidenced by doctors. Doctors that are concerned about what has happened to their medical profession, and that they're involved in such evil. In the US, they're trying to do something about it, the administration in that country, but by goodness the Democratic Party are adamant to try and have this as a sort of a health issue. They're so depraved upstairs that these people, and they're penalising, they intend to penalise the Catholic faithful if they don't obey these secular rules. Their agenda is so evil that one hopes that they fail. In this country we have even a worse scenario, because we have a government that has inflicted this on society to their eternal shame, and an opposition that supported it. So one hopes that there will be sufficient political parties like Ain 2, led by that marvellous ex-Sinn Féin man, Peadar Tóibín from Navan, marvellous human being, pro-life and pro-marriage and proper marriage and all the rest of it, and Renew, which is now very much of a Christian party and pro-life. A small party, I don't think they have any members in the Dáil, but I hope they will succeed in having some members. And then you have the Irish Freedom Party, which is very much pro-life, and attends all the events that are pro-life around the country, and particularly up in Belfast, where they're going to try to inflict this on the people against their wishes, and against the wishes of the political parties there, with the exception, of course, of Sinn Féin. And the only way it could be defeated would be if the executive was reformed there, which was part of the Good Friday Agreement, that they were to come together. But if you have two parties of the calibre of DUP, which is actually pro-life, which is good, and Sinn Féin, which is not pro-life, which is pro-abortion and pro-everything else, that's not good. So you've got this extremist. The middle ground seems to be absent up in that country. And then the middle ground, some of these parties, including the Liberal Party in that neck of the woods, is pro-abort. So where do you go? So that is the situation, and I hope that little poem gave us food for thought.
Did indeed. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you very much, Oliver.